Hi everyone. Welcome back to yet another series. Today we are going to continue our result management system project. This time around, using Power BI to integrate with our SQL database, and we're actually going to be creating a visualization of our student report to mimic something like this. Just have a summary of everything in this formatting as we did in Microsoft Excel. So remember, we didn't create these I already uploaded the different workbooks and we converted them to tables in our database, imported them into our database, and now we are going to integrate our SQL with Power BI. So in order to do that, just go to blank results, get data, more. So because we are using MySQL for this, so go to all, or you could just search MySQL and double click on it to connect, and it's going to ask you for credentials. So what server do you want to connect to? And so remember that my local server is, let me just shoot up my SQL workbench. So the local server is actually localhost hyphen 3010. If you come here, you look at this, when you shoot up your workbench, this particular localhost is what you want to connect to. So localhost hyphen 3310. So what database do I want to access? So the database we want to access is the assessment database and our SMS underscore S database. So I'll just say assessment, and yeah, I'm going to click OK. So it's going to load and it will just automatically go to shoot up our Power Query. It's having some authentication issues, which is pretty interesting. Okay, I don't know what's happening. So it's supposed to show different tables, but it's saying hashing all the password, right? Okay, so maybe I'm going to try it again. More. Let me see if there's. Okay, so I'll just do that again. So assessment with an S. Oh, so it works now. I'm just going to select everything. I would think there's an option for selecting all, but just weird. I'm going to select all. I'll just transform. It's going to shoot up my Power Query editor. Take a little bit of time to load. Now that it has loaded, so I could just clean it up and just say maybe technical drawing. So physics, math, Let's clean the assessment. Go to literature, clean it up. Go to English. Just clean it up. Go to, I'll just say geography. Yeah, go to computer science. I'm just going to say computer science. Doesn't really matter, just make sure that you put it in a table name that you can read and you would know what it is. It's really important so you don't get confused, and for documentation purpose. So maybe if you share your file with someone else, and the person should be able to identify what you're trying to do without having to call you and ask you. I just put agriculture. Yep. So now that I'm done, the one thing I want to do is, okay, I'm going to create a group. I just say assessment is the name of the group, and I'm just going to select everything here and move it to assessment. And so I could do a combination of all the different tables to form one giant huge table by appending. So I'll just append agric to biology, I'll append multiple tables, and because they're having almost the same column names except for the total agric, and yeah, that's the only thing that has different. So I'm just going to click on my first, which is agric. So I'm going to click on append. So usually I like to do append as new so that it is standalone, because if I do append, it's going to append to this table, and you know, if you make a mistake, it becomes a problem. So I want to append 3 or more. I'm just going to select everything here, shift and select all, aside agric, control aside agric and add, and okay. So it has created a giant pool of table for me. Now, one of the reasons I actually did this is, and this is interesting, so you do have a lot of null, and that's because for agric, it's only recording agriculture score. So you see, if you go to agric, you see scores for it, and for biology, you only have to go to biology to see it. So in order for you to clean this up, what I can do is just select the total from here, and I'll select it up to this particular place. And what I'm going to do is just to go to my transform and on pivot column. Before then, if you notice that you could see this particular green here, right? It just shows you that there are issues that you need to resolve. This just shows you that there are issues that you need to resolve. So compared to this green, like the bar is actually complete. So if you just over it, you just see that it will highlight, like it give you like a summary. So just wanted to note that out. So I'm going to on pivot column. Now there are different options: on pivot column, on pivot order column, on pivot only selected column. So on pivot order column would be every other thing other than what I selected. On pivot only selected column is just only selected column. So I just want to go for that. you could just unpivot column and it's fine. So it's Power Query is quite interesting. So now that I'm done, you could actually see that it has now created just two column and no null value. So if I hover over it, there's no empty value, and you can see it has mapped it correctly. So you can see it has mapped it correctly. Now, what I just want to do is to rename my value here as total, maybe total score or just total. Let me just say total. So it will be the the cumulative value of first CE, second CE, and exams. I don't need this any longer because the course code I've already taken care of this attribute. So I'm just going to delete this. The other thing I might want to do is just to do. I also I'm going to redo this and delete these two because I don't really need them. And mind you, any action you do, it's actually recording here. So it's good you actually rename your steps. So again, for documentation purpose, in the event somebody else is looking at it, and to make their life just easier. When I'm done, I think this is it. I'm just going to say combined assessment as the name. Again, you could use anything. You don't have to use this. So I think I'm done with it. And in a short while, I'm going to show you why this is important. So, I'm going to go to home, new source, because I still want to import more data from the SQL database. So you can just type or, you can search here, and it's the MySQL database is already there. Just connect. So I think I also want to localhost hyphen 3310. I also want to import the assessment again, but this time around I want to import it by writing a query. And the query I wanted to write is this particular query here, this subquery we wrote with Windows function. And that's because I want to make it look, I just want to import this particular table like this with a ranking, because I would use it in creating the report card. So you could remember in our Excel report card, there's something like ranking to I think total grade point, average point, like that. And so I want to actually create a table for it. So total grade point, average, ranking, class, and stuff like that. So I would want that as well. And in order for me to do that, I'll just copy this query because I actually created this table using this query. So go to Power Query, go to Advanced option. So there's an option for you to enter a SQL statement, or enter a SQL script. Control V. I'm done with that. Okay. It's gonna import. So you could see it's importing the same display here as a table, and which is good for me. Click on OK. So yeah, now it is magic, and I could just say, what do I want to name this stuff? Yep, maybe I'll just take it to other queries. Okay, so I'm going to transform. What do I want to do? Nothing yet. So going to import the SMS_s database as well. So we know we are done importing all our tables from the database. So the same thing, local host -3 310 what database SMS_s, and I don't want to do any query. I just want to import all tables in that database. Gonna load up. I just want to import these the three tables, and so it's loading. So what I could just do is to create a new group. You don't have to. If you don't agree, you don't really have to. I'm just going to highlight Control Shift and use my left click button, left mouse button, and I'm done. So I could do a rename of this. Yeah, I could rename this query. For some reason the properties is not showing. I think you just click properties and go. I think view. Wow, I really don't know where to go from here. That's weird. Okay, so all good. So but again, if I want to name, I can just right click and rename and just say student. Same thing, right click, courses, right click here, and student profile. Let me try clicking on properties. It's supposed to actually show, but I don't know why it isn't. Now when I'm done, set and done, close and apply. And I think I'm going to close this MySQL. Oh boy, did I do a mistake? No, I intended to do this. I hope it doesn't. So it's loading. It's going to take some time depending on the power, how powerful your machine is or your PC is. Just processing all the models that I've imported from the database, and I think I'll just pause this video and we'll come back in the next video